So I've started a server, the GitLab agent server, right? And what it's doing is it's polling the configuration, the security policies configuration. So I've connected the GitLab agent to my repository that I'm using to test the OCS scans, right? And this is the cron job that it runs, that it uses to determine when it starts a Trivy scan, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change it to maybe let's say 28, right? So it's going to run at every 28th minute of the hour. Right, I have to make a commit. So this is how GitLab agent is set up. So whenever the configuration file changes, right, the agent picks it up and it sees and it reconfigures the setting. So you see that over here, now it knows that every 28th minute of the hour, it would run a scan job. Right, the change that I made was that I used the Trivy container image to run a Kubernetes scan, or they call it the Trivy K8s scan, right? So what we'll see later at the 28th minute is that it's going to pick up the two namespaces that I've configured here, the default namespace and temp namespace, and run a scan for each of the namespaces and the pods that exist in there. Right, so as you can see, I have 3 pods running, 1 in default namespace and 2 inside the temp namespace. I'm going to expand this to show what's happening. These are all debug logs. So what happens is that at the 28th minute, right, we start a scan, right, and it's creating pods, Trivy pods for the temp namespace and the default namespace, right? And then I create a watcher that will watch on the pod to see that it has succeeded. Once it has succeeded, it would read the logs from the pod and then create the vulnerabilities inside GitLab, right? And then that kind of completes the whole process and flow, right? So how this can be seen in the dashboard is the inside the nav bar infrastructure Kubernetes cluster, right? If we were to refresh it, and you go into the particular agent, you should be able to see the vulnerabilities that's being picked up here. Yep. So here you go. So these are the vulnerabilities that were picked up from the scan, and you show up here. And you can actually see the details over here.